And we're back for race 2 from Chang, our final race of the 4 that we're having here in Thailand. Destination Speed, Chang International Speedway. Race number 2, 14 cars on the grid for this one, as we have lost Michael Schneider's car, the MMS team unable to get the McLaren 650S onto the track. So let's do a rundown of the reverse grid and then get rolling. Finishing 10th in race 1 and starting from the pole position will be Dule Markovic. Rick Martel joining him on the front row, followed by Mike Magasevich and James Gill. Row 3, Mark Minahan and Dean Reimers, all Golden Bolt row. Then we have Nino Schultz and Wesley Stokes off of a podium on row 4. Row 5, Ben Schwari, the championship leader, and his teammate Martin Lauer, race 1 winner. And then as they finish the race, they are there, Mark Klabzul, Jason Chittenden, and Alan Anhel. We're also down Dave Collins, who the John Slow Racing BMW has been unable to make the track for race 2. Let's have a look at what goes on here. This will be about a 10-lap affair around the Destination Speed Chang International Speedway. A surprisingly challenging track despite its simplistic layout. And they are off. Markovic got a fantastic start, or Martel got a poor one. I'm not sure which. Magasevich is going to take it around the outside and go into second place. Martel's also being swallowed up by James Gill. So I think it's probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Markovic is quite far up, so I think he got a good start, but I think it's Martel also getting away on a relatively poor one. James Gill is in 4th place. Dean Reimers is up to 5th. Gill going down the inside of Martel takes 3rd place. He may also take 2nd place here from Magasevich. He will. Reimers is going for a move. Martel is in the mix. Martin Lauer is already up into this mix as well, along with Wesley Stokes. Good start from the race 1 winner. Markovic is way out in front. We'll see if Magasevich can hold on to 2nd place here through the sweeper. He will not. James Gill is going to move into 2nd place. Magasevich is 3rd, followed by Dean Reimers, his teammate and rival in the Academy Cup title. P4 for him. Martin Lauer, the race 1 winner, is now up into 5th place. He's battling with Wesley Stokes and Rick Martel, the Team Shashma teammates, who are 6th and 7th right now. Looks like Lauer's going to hold it. Schwari's 8th. Schultz is 9th. He had a pretty solid debut, 4th place in his debut race, and a debut race for that car, the Callaway C7. Wesley Stokes trying to go around the outside of Rick Martel. Goes onto the inside on the switchback, and he's going to get it. That's going to be P6 for the American. In the meantime, at the front, battle for the podium is on. Reimers and Lauer both looking to make a move on Magasevich. Martel giving a little sniff there onto Stokes. Bad opening lap for Martel. He has slipped back from P2 to P7. Rough times for the Canadian Ironman. Rounding off the points, it is Ben Schwari, Nino Schultz, and Jason Chittenden. The man who has probably lost out the most is Mark Minahan, who has slipped all the way to the back of the pack. 13 cars, top 10 will score points. Markovic in the lead. James Gill eating into that lead just a little bit. Markovic is an interesting one, of course. He qualified. Whoa, Magasevich goes real wide. He clips Reimers, who clips into Stokes, and they're both off. Martin Lauer says, thank you very much. I will take 3rd place. Magasevich settles back into 4th. Schwari is now suddenly up into 5th place. He's dealt away with Rick Martel, who is down into 6th place. 7th for Schultz, 8th for Chittenden, 9th for Klapzul, and 10th for Minahan. And Reimers, and Stokes are on the outside looking in. I was going to say before this, though, the Dule Markovic is an interesting one to have pole position. Qualified 4th for race 1, so he has some speed, and was running in 4th for a good chunk of the race before he made a mistake, and it put him back, and he recovered to a 10th place finish. So you got to think that not the sitting duck that the reverse grid pole sitter usually is in terms of pace. He's got theoretically more pace than James Gill, but he does have to worry about Martin Lauer, who's absolutely slicing through the grid, and Ben Schwari, who's also looking to do the same. He's all over the back of Mike Magasevich. Nino Schultz has got up into 6th place, passing Rick Martel, so pretty solid 2nd lap for him after a bit of a weak start for the Callaway C7 car. In the background, Minahan has gotten around Chittenden and is looking to get around Mark Klapzul. That is for, I want to say, let's see, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place? Looks like 8th place. Martin Lauer looking to go down the inside of James Gill into second place, and he will. Martin Lauer has been the absolute dominant force here at Chang International Speedway. Him and Alessio DeBonis have been really the bench standards in this. Ben Schwari has gotten around Mike Magasevich into fourth place for the championship leader. Nino Schultz is looking to get past him as well. That Callaway C7, beautiful car to drive. Interested to see how it does during the rest of the season. A bit of a late joiner to the grid. Looking to the inside, can't quite get it. And behind them is Rick Martel in 7th place still. Rough race for him. Hopefully he can make something out of this. Schultz looking to the inside of Magasevich. Not quite on, but clearly has the faster car. 8th place is Klapzul, still holding off Minahan and Chittenden. Then Angel and the recovery driver of Reimers is up to 12th. Stokes is 13th. Martin Lauer chopping into the back of the Zagato piston car of Dule Markovic, the only Zagato piston car. Oh, Ben Schwari is way off. Mike Magasevich off. Schultz looking to make a move down the inside. Can he make it stick? He definitely can. Big move from the Corvette. The C7 Callaway designed Corvette of Nino Schultz up into 5th place. Sixth is still Magasevich. 7th for Martel. 8th for Klapzul. 9th for Minahan. 10th for Chittenden. 11th for Angel and Reimers, and Stokes are coming from the back. Still in the lead, Dule Markovic, solid start. Combined with a bit of a weak one from Rick Martel, gave him the lead, but you got to think he's under pressure now. Martin Lauer has cut through the rest of the grid. He's come up from 10th to 2nd, and he has 7 laps, the better part of 7 laps anyways, to make a move for the lead and try and go for the double victory here in Thailand. Mounting a surprising championship contention after some health problems kept him out from the first couple of races. He's really helped this John Slow team become, dare I say it, the class of the field right now. Magasevich, Martel next to try to get past the Canadian of Yugoslavian extraction, like Magasevich. Mark Klapzul still hanging on to 8th place against Mark Minahan, Chittenden, Angel. Reimers is now up onto the back of Angel, looking to make his way forward. And Wesley Stokes is still manning the back of the pack. Martin Lauer has made the move stick and is into the lead. Let's have a look at that. Let's rewind this real quickly. And it looks like Markovic kind of made it easy for him. He got very wide in the last turn. A couple of cars have been doing that. It's a deceptively difficult turn. I think that's the phrase to describe this track. Deceptively difficult. Lauer into the lead, and you have to think he will probably be able to hold that. Magasevich is under power. Someone going way off. It's Alan Angel in the background losing the track. Martel putting the pressure on Magasevich here in the battle for 6th place between the two men with the most 0 starts in the grid. Canadians Mike Magasevich and Rick Martel, the Season 1 champion. Martel looking to go down the inside. He might be able to make it, but not quite by the looks of it. Mark Klapzul still hanging on gauntly onto that 8th place position. Alan Angel losing a spot there in 11th, or for losing 11th place there to Ian Reimers in the background. The Academy Cup leader is now 1 position from being in the points. He's just got New Zealander Jason Chittenden to deal with. I also expect to see Stokes come forward at some point here, but not yet. Very solid run here from James Gill, holding on to a podium position and doing a pretty good job of it. It's been a bit of an up-and-down season with him, battling with some sponsorship details that have kept him off of the grid. And hopefully we'll see him make a few more appearances this season and settle some things for next season. You know, Schultz, again having a solid debut, 4th in race 1, 5th currently. Mike Magasevich still hanging on against Martel. Minahan has gotten around Mark Klapzul. Let's go have a look at how that happened. That is for 8th place for the Golden Bolt driver. Minahan just has not really been on the pace here at Chang pretty much the whole round. Let's see here. So it looks like Klabzul gets a little tight there, spins out a little bit wide, and just cannot defend the position. In the meantime, I also sense that Reimers will be up on really putting the pressure onto Chittenden soon, and there he goes through into 10th place. And Chittenden does manage to slam the door in the face of Alan Angel. Meanwhile, back at the front, a couple cars going wide. Ooh, Mike Magasevich going very wide in the background there, but hangs on to the position against Martel. Pressure here, Martel putting on Magasevich, battle for 6th position at about the halfway point of this race. Martel going down the inside at the hairpin, little bit of contact. It's going to force Magasevich a little bit wider, and he will have to concede the position, although Martel is off. So that's going to give it back. Mark Klabzul is trying to come back at Mark Minahan in the background for 8th place, but nothing on quite yet. Dean Reimers is going to put the pressure on him as well. Wesley Stokes has bagged Alan Angel for 12th place in the background there. And at the front, Mark Lauer has not really had the getaway expected from Dule Markovich. And James Gill has been knocked off the podium. Let's go check how that happened. Ben Schwari, the championship leader, taking over that position. He's already passed here. It's got to be at the hairpin, I would think. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it's going to be at the hairpin is where Ben Schwari gets him. And he's putting the pressure on. It looks like just Gill goes too deep into the turn, ends up wide, and an easy position for the championship leader, Ben Schwari, to move back onto the podium. You see in the background there the incident between Martel and Magasevich as well. But as we're saying, Martin Lauer not quite pulling away at the rate I expected. Dule Markovich is keeping him pretty honest. And Ben Schwari back in 3rd place, followed by James Gill and Nino Schultz charging up a little bit. Magasevich still 6th place, followed by Martel, who you have to think was looking for some better results than this. Rick Martel running in 7th place, followed by Mark Minahan and Mark Klabzul. Dean Reimers in the last points paying position. Wesley Stokes is putting the pressure on Jason Chittenden for 11th. After finishing 3rd in race 1, this is definitely a disappointing race for Stokes, who needs points. He's going to go around the outside of Chittenden into 11th position. He needs one more to salvage some points out of this race. Had some problems early on, colliding with Dean Reimers. Let's have a look at the Academy standings real quick. Dule Markovich is the top Academy driver in 1st place. Nino Schultz is 2nd, having just overtaken James Gill for 4th place. James Gill is 3rd place. 4th is Mike Magasevich, and then 5th is Dean Reimers. Mark Klabzul putting the pressure, by the way, on Mark Minahan again. And the final points paying spot in the Academy Cup is up for grabs between Jason Chittenden and Alan Angel, whoever can prevail in this battle for 12th. Chittenden currently holding it. Martel back up on the edge of Magasevich. He's gotten there a couple times, but has not gotten past his fellow Canadian. And it looks like Klabzul's assault on Minahan has come up short. He's now under pressure from Dean Reimers and Wesley Stokes. Martin Lauer calmly leading here on lap 8. He's got just 3 laps to go to claim victory. Markovic is second, Schwari is third, Schultz fourth, fifth for Gill, sixth for Magasevich. Fight going on in the back. It's Dean Reimers has gotten ahead. Hang on, what has happened here? Dean Reimers and Wesley Stokes are suddenly in this mix with Mark Klapsul and Mark Minahan. What happened here? Alright, so looks like a nudge in the back from Klapsul. Minahan trying to get maybe a little too tight there. It's going to let Reimers, Stokes is going to reshape this a lot. Let's see what they come out in. It looks like it's going to be Reimers takes 8th, 9th for Minahan, or 8th and 9th, pardon me. 8th for Reimers, 9th for Minahan, and 10th for Wesley Stokes. Just like that, Mark Klapsul is bounced out of a points-paying position. Stokes is looking to make a move on Minahan, and does. I don't think that he's done. I think he might fancy himself a move here as well on Dean Reimers going down the inside of the hairpin. He hangs it. Reimers does not. And he's got it. And just like that, we were talking about Wesley Stokes barely being in the points-paying positions, and he's suddenly in 8th place. Still got to feel that this is going to hurt him in the long run, though. His championship rival Ben Schwari up in 3rd position. That's going to be a gap of 11 points, or 12 points for the race. So not good still. Reimer's getting a little bit out of shape there. Might open up the door for Minahan to make a run at him for 9th place. Klapsul in the background, followed by Chittenden and Angel. Not quite anything on yet. Back at the front is Martin Lauer, still leading into lap number 9. He is followed by Dule Markovic, who is now under some proper pressure from the championship leader Ben Schwari. And the John Slow Racing entry against Zagato Piston. Nino Schultz in the background in 4th position, calmly ahead of James Gill. Mike Magasevich has got a little bit of breathing room once again. Back to Rick Martel, may yet hold the 6th place. Martel is 7th. 8th is Wesley Stokes, who is absolutely surging now. You got to wonder if maybe his teammate Martel will let him through and give him really what would be a valuable 2 points as far as trying to capture this driver's title. It's been a battle for Wesley Stokes after a really strong start to the season. He's had a bit of a run of subpar form and needs to get all the points that he can. Reimers and Minahan are still the last 2 point scorers for Golden Bolt Racing. All 3 Golden Bolts in the points. Top one is in 6th place. Alan Angel has gotten up past Jason Chittenden. So that is the last points in the Academy Cup. So it's an important, despite it being a battle for 12th place. Martin Lauer coming around here to start the final lap of this race. In the background, Markovic is under pressure from Ben Schwari. It is not over yet between those two. We know that Schwari is quite quick, very consistent. Markovic can be very quick as well, but has had a tendency this season to fade later in races as he perhaps doesn't maintain his tires quite to the level that some of the other drivers are able to. Nino Schultz looking for a double 4th place in his debut round. A very solid showing from him. And then it is James Gill having a very solid 5th place run. Mike Magasevich, we thought he might be somewhat safe in 6th place, but I'm less certain that that is the case. Martel and Stokes, the 2 Shashma cars, are coming, and they are coming quickly. Stokes looking down the inside of his teammate Rick Martel, looking to make the move into 7th place. It looks like he'll get it. Magasevich going out a little bit wide there to cut a good tight line. Not really all that tight, actually. But yeah, around Rick Martel goes Wesley Stokes. Now into 7th place. We were wondering if his teammate might move aside. I don't know if he did. I think Stokes may just have had the performance edge on him and have gotten the job done. And he's gonna take a whack at Mike Magasevich, who Martel's had a hard time figuring out. Battle for 2nd place is also very much on at this point. And looking to get past Dean Reimers, his teammate. But in the front, Martin Lauer is going to make it a double. On the final turn, Markovic gets wide. He's going to lose second place to Ben Schwari, or will he? He surges ahead. Dule Markovic, a tremendous second place outing for the Zagato Piston man from pole position. Ben Schwari, Nino Schultz, James Gill rounding it off. Wesley Stokes is going hugely aggressive against Magasevic, but he's not going to be able to do it. Magasevic is going to take home 6th place. It is Stokes 7th, Martel 8th, Reimers 9th, and 10th for Mark Minahan. A little bit of a battle here for 11th place. Mark Klapsel not really racing for anything. He is not in the Academy Cup, so he's not eligible for that final point position. It's going to go to Jason Chittenden, who will take 12th in the race, 6th in the Academy Cup. Alan Angel, nothing for you despite a solid race from the McLaren 650S driver. We are done here at Chang International Speedway. There are going to be 4 rounds remaining in the championship. We still have stops at Suzuka, Sonoma, Laguna Seca, and also... it's eluding me as to what the other round is, but there you go. We'll see you next time out. It'll be at Suzuka in Japan, and enjoy your time until then.